So here I'm going to look at some more things about attributes. You notice that I have some items selected here. Don't worry about the selection yet. I'm going to open the attribute table. So I right mouse click, open attribute table, and you can see that I have some items selected. What I want to do in this particular situation is to calculate a field. Now, when you have a spreadsheet, the way you can calculate a field is to go to a new column, put a formula, bam, you're done. In a database, things are more complicated because you have to define fields and then write the query to actually update the field and so forth, which makes it a bit more awkward. GIS quite often has something in between, so it's good. They try to take some of the simplicity of the spreadsheet and add it to the database structure that's within the GIS. And the way QGIS works here is similar to quite a few other packages. Now, in order to be able to update the attributes, I have to make this layer editable. So remember when we edited the graphic objects, we pressed the pen tool here to toggle editing. We will do the same thing right here. So we toggle edit, and that means that now we can edit the attributes here at will. It also means that we can still edit the graphics. So for example, if we wanted to suddenly invade British Columbia by moving the boundary over, we could do so as well. So you have to be a little bit careful when you're editing information, because you can be actually making all sorts of changes, and you have to sort of worry about it a little bit. In order to be able to calculate a new column, we can click on this icon right here, open field calculator, and it looks like a little calculator, so that's nice. So I press right there and it brings up this pop-up box. And here I can actually write in the formula that will allow me to create the calculation. With some GIS, you actually can only work with fields that already exist, so you actually have to go and create the fields first, come back and then edit those fields. QGIS is a bit more flexible in that you can actually create a field on the fly. So right here, this would be the option for a lot of GIS. Update an existing field with the only default option. Note here that you have only update selected features. This means that it will only work with the things that are highlighted in yellow, because those are the only ones that sort of match that situation. So you have to turn this off because we want to do it for everything. So, and if you run into this problem with GIS, that you do something with the database and it only does it for certain records, make sure you're not doing it for just the selected records. You have to do it for all of them. So this is one of the reasons that I had some of the records selected before we started, was to show you that problem that you could run into. Once you get familiar, it's not a problem, of course, but it's just getting there. So what we're going to do is calculate the percentage of the population who are treaty status. So we create a new field, and that's a field name that we create. It's going to be decimal because we're going to do percentage. So for example, 37.42 is a percentage. So 42, let's go to 2 decimal places. And that is the structure for the new field that we're creating. And now we have to go and tell it what is in this field. So we want to take ABI North, the number of people who are treaty status, divided by the total population. And now we want to put some brackets around this and multiply by 100, because we want to make it a percentage. So there's my entry right there. So the First Nations people divided by the total population times 100. So I click OK. Hey, nothing happened. Well, we created a new field that probably is at the end. So let's go all the way to the end. And there we are. There's that new field that we just created. And you can see these are percentages. So we have one census division here that has almost 92% of the population are First Nations people. And some others have much lower. Is there a way to sort this? Yes, in most GIS packages you have a very quick way of sorting. In this case here, I just click on the field name and automatically it sorts it for me. So it's pretty straightforward. The way to, let's say I want to grab all the instances where we have more than 50% of the population is First Nations. We could go back and do advanced search and say percent NIA greater than 50, when get the query result, so we can do it that way. But you can also do these things interactively, and I'll show you. In this case, we have sorted by this field, so I'm going to click here on the number to highlight this row. And it takes a couple seconds because we have so many columns of data right here. And then we see that this number 9 here is the one that's higher than 50. So now it's highlighted, and I'll go all the way here. So you can see that 52%, 54, 55, 57, 59, 64, 69, 77, 89.6, and almost 92%. If I look at the map, I see that the yellow areas are those areas where the percentages are larger than 50%. And once I click on the toggle edit mode, what it's going to do is it's going to ask me if I want to save the changes. And if I say yes, what it will do is it'll just, from that point on, there will be a new field in the in this table, and it would actually see percent NIA in there in order to give us that information. So that's all there is to it.